Welcome back to Economic Binoculars. Do you know there is a country out there that seemed to be holding a winning hand, but somehow managed to sabotage its own economy through a series of self-destructive policies? Today, we're diving into how a nation can wreck its economy step by painful step. Oh, don't worry, y'all, this isn't about the United States. Yet, we are talking about Turkey. And trust me, it all comes down to the wildest monetary policies in modern history. In this video, you'll learn 1. Why Turkey had all the right ingredients for a booming economy. 2. The shocking policy mistakes that sent everything spiraling. 3. What the future holds for Turkey, and whether there's a way out. So let's rewind the clock and see where it all went wrong. Republic of Turkey is a country that literally sits between two worlds, Europe and Asia, making it a prime spot for trade, culture, and influence. It covers about 783,000 square kilometers, with a population of over 85 million. The capital is Ankara, but the beating heart of the nation is Istanbul, a city rich in history and economic significance. Turkey's currency is the Turkish lira. Geographically, Turkey is blessed, with coastlines on the Mediterranean, Aegean, and Black Seas, plus a strategic position as a bridge between energy-rich regions and Europe. It's also a key NATO member and a longtime candidate for EU membership. Modern Turkey was founded in 1923 by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, who introduced secularism and sweeping reforms to build a modern republic from the ashes of the Ottoman Empire. Fast forward to 2025. Have you been following what's happening in Turkey lately? Political chaos? Political issues are not our channel's expertise. However, before political chaos, skyrocketing inflation, a currency in freefall, it's like watching an economic disaster movie unfold in real life. But here's the kicker. Turkey wasn't always in this mess. Just a couple of decades ago, Turkey was on a path to becoming an economic powerhouse. The country had rapid GDP growth, booming industries, and foreign investors lining up to pour money into it. So, what went wrong? Before we talk about how Turkey's economy collapsed, let's talk about why it should have been one of the strongest economies in the world. Turkey's location isn't just good, it's prime real estate for global trade. Sitting at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, Turkey acts as a natural bridge for commerce, linking some of the world's biggest economies. It controls the Bosporus Strait, one of the busiest maritime trade routes, where over 3% of global oil supply passes through every year. On top of that, Turkey is a major transit hub for goods moving between China and Europe. Second, Turkey has a young and expanding workforce, which is a major economic advantage. Around 55% of Turkey's population is under the age of 35, giving the country a steady supply of workers to drive growth and innovation. Let's look at Turkey's age pyramid graph. This is a graph that will make countries like Germany or Japan jealous, where the workforce is shrinking. Number 3, Turkey has a massive tourism industry, accounting for approximately 8% of the nation's GDP. From Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, to hot air balloon in Cappadocia, Turkey welcomed 55.2 million foreign visitors in 2024, ranked 5th place position worldwide. Notably, Istanbul ranked as the second most visited city globally in 2024, attracting 23 million international visitors, while Antalya secured the 6th spot. These figures underscore Turkey's enduring appeal as a top travel destination, offering a rich blend of historical sites, cultural experiences, and natural beauty. Number 4, Turkey's manufacturing sector is a key economic driver, excelling in automobiles, textiles, and machinery. The automotive industry alone exports over $30 billion annually, making Turkey a top European producer. With a skilled workforce and strategic location, it remains a major player in global supply chains. For much of the 2000s and early 2010s, Turkey was doing incredibly well. GDP was growing fast, foreign investors were pouring in, and the middle class was expanding. From 2000 to 2013, Turkey's per capita income nearly tripled. At this point, Turkey looked like an emerging market success story. It's like you are holding the best possible cards on hand, but still end up losing the game. It isn't easy, is it? Well, let's see what happens. Even as the economy grew, there were warning signs. Turkey was running a trade deficit, meaning it was importing more than it exported. It was also heavily reliant on foreign investment to keep its economy running smoothly. The last time Turkey recorded a trade surplus was in 2002. Since 2003, the country has experienced a continuous 22-year streak of trade deficits. Here's where things get crazy. One of the golden rules of economics is, if inflation is rising, raise interest rates to slow it down. Rate hikes help tame inflation by making borrowing more expensive and saving more attractive, which cools down spending and demand. Higher rates also strengthen the currency, making imports cheaper. As demand falls, price pressures ease, bringing inflation down. Every central bank in the world follows this basic principle, except for Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has been in power since 2003, has a very unique view on economics, and by unique, I mean weird. He believes that high interest rates actually cause inflation, instead of controlling it. When inflation started rising, most economists advised Turkey to increase interest rates to stabilize the economy. Erdogan, on the other hand, forced Turkey's central bank to slash interest rates, over and over again. The result? Inflation exploded. Prices skyrocketed, hitting 85% in 2022, one of the highest inflation rates in the world. The Turkish lira collapsed. Back in 2013, $1 was worth 2 Turkish lira. By 2024, over 30 lira per dollar. Imagine losing 90% of your currency's value in just a decade. Foreign investors bailed. When investors see unpredictable policies, they don't stick around. Billions of dollars fled the country as confidence in Turkey's economy disappeared. Debt became even harder to manage. With the lira in free fall, Turkey's foreign debt became harder to pay off. Every time things got worse, Turkey's leadership refused to change course. Instead of admitting mistakes, they doubled down on bad policies. Weird. To make matters worse, Erdogan also started firing central bank governors who disagreed with him. Turkey went through 4 different central bank chiefs in just a few years, because whenever someone tried to fix the problem, they were replaced with someone who would keep cutting interest rates. This created a cycle where inflation rose, the lira weakened, the government refused to adjust, inflation rose even more, the economy tanked. This wasn't just a slow decline, it was a full-blown economic collapse. And the people suffering the most? Ordinary Turkish citizens. Now, Turkey is in a deep economic hole. The country has a massive debt problem that's only getting worse, a shrinking middle class as wages fail to keep up with inflation, a trade deficit importing more than it exports, making the currency even weaker. To fix this, Turkey would need to completely change its approach. But that doesn't seem likely anytime soon. The only way out. To stabilize the economy, Turkey would need to 1. Restore central bank independence, so professionals, not politicians, control monetary policy. 2. Raise interest rates to curb inflation, yes, the opposite of what they've been doing. 3. Cut government spending to reduce debt. 4. Win back investor confidence by proving they won't repeat the same mistakes. But will Erdogan actually do this? So far, the answer seems to be no. In fact, every time economic troubles get worse, the government blames outside forces instead of taking responsibility. They've accused foreign powers and economic terrorists of attacking Turkey's economy. But let's be honest, the biggest enemy of Turkey's economy? Its own leadership. Turkey's economic collapse is a warning to the world. It proves that bad monetary policies can destroy even the most promising economies. Short-term political moves might sound good in speeches, but in reality, they can have devastating long-term consequences. Turkey is a beautiful country with a rich culture, delicious cuisine, stunning natural scenery, and warm, welcoming people. We hope it can recover from its economic collapse and political unrest to thrive once again. Have you ever been to Turkey? Do you think it will recover soon when its leader refuses to listen to economic experts? If inflation hits and your savings lost 90% of their value within several years, what would you do? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into global economics. See you in the next one.